Homer Simpson writes an equation on a blackboard.
Yes.
Cut to that equation almost being the exact equation for the Higgs-boson God particle.
These writers are not just typical writers. We got mathematicians. We have scientists.
We got aliens.
We got...
An equation written by a mathematician comedy writer for Homer Simpson to write in a cartoon then became our real reality about how the Earth works.
God particle sounds like God's penis.
Welcome to High in the Sky, the podcast where we get high and ask
Why?
Allegedly. My name is Mike Glazer.
And I'm Tahir. I'm Tahir Moore.
You out of breath from that couch gag.
Okay. Well, you know what? If you're going to be mean about it, okay?
I heard your knees creak when you landed. I didn't know if it was the couch or you.
I'm taking my pills today.
I'm sorry, man. I'm a spicy guy. But we did that couch gag because today we're talking about The Simpsons.
Ooh, one of the best shows ever created.
100%.
But why are we talking about The Simpsons? Because we're high in the sky. We're a conspiracy podcast that asks why, right?
Yes.
And we are.
And we high.
And we are.
Which is how I will always watch The Simpsons.
Yeah. It's
Right?
better that way.
Since jump.
It's better that way. Have you ever watched something funny when you weren't high and went back and watched it while you were high? You're like, man, was I laughing this hard? Because I'm dying right
I agree
now.
with you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because it's like so gag heavy
Yeah.
that there will be things I miss, but because I'm ripped a bit, like I catch it all. It's so jam-packed.
I'm way more liable to pause it and laugh so I can get the full laugh out. And I don't want to miss anything else. So I have to pause it when I'm laughing like that. But
Yeah. I will say when we go through the episodes and the conspiracies attached to them, there
Yeah.
are so many sight gags that I wrote down. I'm so stoked for this one.
listen, guys, we're just here just trying to have some fun, guys. Do your own research.
Or slide in my DMs and I'll tell you where the real truth is.
Do not slide in my DMs. You understand me? My wife shares my DMs with me. So you say something crazy, you're going to have to answer to her. You
Respect.
dig that?
Respect.
Respect.
It's a blessing to do this with you. Like I've tried to practice gratitude every day. It's a big part of my life. And doing this with you for something I care deeply about, I appreciate it, man. Like conspiracy theories to me are the truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I look around this world and I'm like, I don't know what's real, especially right now, but I can sit here with you, crack something open, find the core of it, and I like live for that kind of honesty.
I appreciate that, man. I love conspiracies because I feel like it's a chance to butt back at the system and question everything that they just try to force feed us.
You're going to hate some of the stuff I say.
I already know. I know that for sure.
Okay,
Absolutely.
bet.
Yeah.
I'm just making sure.
No, I was prepared for it already. Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
The first time
Uh-huh.
I was like, I wonder if this should be questioned.
Uh-huh.
Like I didn't know what a conspiracy theory was,
Right.
but I thought to myself, like, who came up with that word?
Mm-hmm.
Was it the government who came up with that word to make us question everything,
Mm-hmm.
or like think that anything outside of them was like not real? It was a theory. But I remember doing the Pledge of Allegiance and putting my hand on my heart and being like, I love God and I will die for this country and everything about the government is in my favor and they have my best interest in mind. Amen. And then I'm like, can you teach me how to count to 100? You know what I mean? Like you're having a kid get brainwashed into putting your hand on your heart and then saying like, how do I read? And I just, I was like, okay, we got to ask some questions about this. Yeah.
Okay, I get that. I definitely think with the aliens is where my questioning for more and refusal to just accept whatever they give me, like the first thing they say, I don't believe it.
Yeah.
It's a cover story.
I agree.
Yeah, I've always been into this. Like, and then when I started finding out more stuff like Bermuda Triangle and like how all those weird occurrences happen there, I was just like, it's definitely more. There's more to this.
How do all the eels know to go there to reproduce every year?
Come on, man. That's the only place they reproduce.
It's the only place. You're born knowing that? I got to get to the Bermuda Triangle.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Wild. Yeah.
Wow, bro.
Yeah.
Peeps, comment section, chat, all of y'all out there. what was the first thing that you questioned? What was the first thing that made you say, nah, it's more to that?
Yeah.
What really got the juices flowing, the wheels turning? I want to know. We want to know. We gonna read through some of these, and we might give y'all some shouts out and be like, such and such said this too. Okay.
I'd love to read them on air.
Yeah.
Are you like a Simpsons fan since it's like for me
Since the beginning.
Since the beginning, right?
Yeah, since they were drawn ridiculously.
I'm still the burp champion of the world. Bart, meet the new champ.
Yes, exactly.
Those first couple episodes were out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember for me, growing up in St. Louis, Missouri, as we both did, we couldn't afford cable.
No.
So having a show on Fox that was this edgy, raw, funny, what's even the word I'm looking for? Like, no one had seen anything like it before.
Yeah.
And to have that on basic cable so kids like me could watch it, I will just always be a Simpsons fan for what they meant to my childhood to today.
Simpsons was that last 30 minutes of freedom before the school week started again.
Yeah.
It was like the last cartoon, especially like you said, if you didn't have cable, that last little bit of the weekend, squeezing the last juice out of the weekend, because after the Simpsons went off, it was about time for you to start getting ready for bed.
100%.
So, like, I've always had an appreciation for them, a love for them, the joy that they brought me as a kid, and even now as an adult. Like, the Simpsons movie was phenomenal.
Yeah.
As far as movies goes, that was a great movie for them.
Bart's circumcised? I'm glad we answered the question we were all asking.
That's what the people wanted to
The
know.
people were demanding it.
Is Bart circumcised?
Is Bart circumcised?
And you talking about when he was on the skateboard?
Yeah,
and then, yo,
exactly.
that was wild that they showed that.
It was wild.
Yo, Simpsons, y'all are wild for that one.
Yeah.
Y'all some wild boys.
What is your childhood cartoon, or what is the cartoon that means the most to you growing up? Drop it in the comments. Like, really drop it in the comments.
Yeah.
Because we are trying to get in the algorithm. We're trying to have conversations. Like, is it Recess? Is it Doug?
With the Simpsons, one of the things aside of the joy they brought a lot of 80s and 90s babies, it has been the accuracy in which they have predicted future events, right? Now, a lot of people are wondering, like, the conspiracy theories that allegedly surround the Simpsons are, do they have psychics on the writing team? Like, are any of the writers psychics?
Yeah.
Or are they getting this information from alien technology?
Matt Groening, time traveler?
Hey.
Chose not to kill Hitler, but wanted to write 23 pages of cartoon for
Weird
36
flex,
seasons.
bro. That's a weird flex,
Good
but
option.
I mean,
Still worked out.
it's
Worked out pretty well. You know? Can I tell you a psychic story?
Please.
I think I'm a little psychic.
Really?
I do.
What is this based on? Is it just one situation that you think you might be psychic from, or is it multiple?
Great question. Because obviously with The Simpsons, we're
Yeah.
getting into like, you know,
Multiple,
40 plus. For me, I can think of two. One, I was at a bat mitzvah and there was a raffle and they were like, pick a number between 1 and 100. And I should have shouted 17, but I was too nervous to because I was a scared little kid. And somebody else yelled 17 and they won a bike.
Wow.
I thought 17 though.
Yeah.
And now I see 17 everywhere and I hate it.
Is it
But
your
that's my
favorite
own
number?
regret. No, no. 33 is my favorite number. 17 is my is the number I should embrace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As a lesson learned. Then I was driving for Instacart. If you want to sponsor us, please feel free. And I was driving for Instacart when I first moved to LA.
Yeah.
And I was driving to some fancy mansion to give them their groceries.
Of course.
And on the way, I drove past a truck. My whole body felt like it got hit. I saw the accident in my head, Final Destination style. Stop at the red light. I get rammed in from behind. Groceries, trunk pop. I slam into the car in front of me. She's in an SUV. She's pregnant, and I'm accordion between them. And I saw it and I felt it before it happened. Everyone was okay. We all worked it out. The baby was born, also circumcised. But the point is I saw and felt that before it happened.
So you actually did get in an accident?
Swear to God. Got in a
And
huge
you
accident.
saw it happen before?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So I do believe that there is psychic energy here on
Oh,
this
yeah, for
earth.
sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like there's enough like astrology aside, if we're going to get into the idea that the Simpsons are psychic,
Yeah.
I would lean towards it because I do believe in psychic abilities.
Right.
I do believe that you can tap into something deeper than this surface level.
That's That's good.
Do you?
Yeah. I absolutely believe that. I believe that there are people on this earth who have abilities that are heightened in them. I think we all possess it, but there are people who have a larger capacity for it, and those are the ones that are able to tap into that better than us.
100%.
Because like everything about the human body is crazy to me. The fact that like women can create life and like nurture that life and then like, you know, give birth to that, like I still be amazed at keys. I'm not gonna hold you. Like the fact that these little grooves right here lock this door and now all my belongings are fine. I'd be like, and like you ever been on a plane and be like, we really ain't supposed to be up here. Like I don't really understand combustion and how this jet engine work. Like I get scared a little bit. I look out the window, I see the engine, I pee a little bit. I'm not gonna lie about it. I pee a little bit. It happens, but I just don't like. It's certain things that just they still like. Ugh.
I just Googled how many keys are in the world, and AI Google said that's impossible to answer. The idea that all of those groove variations are in the world and they continue.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
It's crazy to me, man.
Yo, I love getting stoned and talking to you about keys. Like, this is what this is about.
Keys are legit, bro.
Yeah.
Like, we should do a whole show on keys because it's like, yay.
Yo.
Hey, skeleton keys.
Yeah.
Handcuff keys.
We need to get all the janitors to come together in the world.
Oh, that would be fire.
Can you
It'd be
imagine?
mops and brooms just littered in the hallway. You know they drive a lot of vans. We would run out of space in the parking lot. Because janitors be liking long-ass vans for no reason. It'd be like, all right, now, if you ain't sweep floors, you'd probably be a serial killer because that's what your vehicle says.
Yo. What's his name? Willie?
Yeah. Oh, from The Simpsons.
From The Simpsons?
Yeah, I never saw him
Ripped
drive
Willie?
anything but the tractor.
No, he lives in a shed behind the school.
Ah, that's very true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
And he's ripped.
It's time for the main course.
He is ripped.
So hot. So hot. Him and Flanders, unreal bodies.
Flanders was unreal
You know,
with the
right?
rippedness, though.
Unbelievable.
Just ripped for Jesus,
Some
bro.
high school bully, one of the bullies, selling HGH to Flanders and Willie, without a doubt. You don't get like that just lifting everyday life.
Right. You got the Flanders mustache right now. You rocking the Flanders.
I
Holly
appreciate
diddly
that.
do.
I appreciate that, actually. It's a good
Listen,
man.
we gonna jump into this episode, man. As you can tell, we're very excited about this episode. But also, like, we learned a lot in doing the research for this. Like, I didn't realize how many things they had called, like an umpire. Over, what is it, 43?
And counting.
43 and
We don't know what the
counting.
future will hold.
Oh, that
So,
was deep.
and
That was some
counting.
Star Trek shit, bro. That was good, man.
Because if you think about, like, oh, man. Can I just talk about Simpsons' process real quick
Go
to
dumb,
show
go
the
dumb, go dumb.
the
Cook right now. Let's go.
infinitesimal- Okay. If you think about how a cartoon is made, you have a writer's room who does story, plot, characters, and then you usually have a punch-up room. And that room will do like jokes and like make a joke better and do all that. So you have two rooms going at once working on a variety of episodes and storylines. Then you have to send that to animation, which in this case is, I don't know if it's in US or India, but animation. And then it has to go back and forth with all these notes. So one episode that's in picture lock is probably not coming out for 2 more years. So the fact that some of these episodes, like the Lisa one, which we'll get into in a second, was made even before its release, and it still came true.
Ooh, my boy cooking today.
Wild.
That's wild, though,
That's
for real.
wild.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So I mean, we, as I said, like a lot of people have conspiracies to how this is getting done. Again, the time travel, the aliens, psychic powers, government mind control, simulation theory. Simulation theory is always one of my favorites.
What is that one now?
Simulation theory is sort of like the Matrix, but the simulation is like, you know, all of this is a simulation. Like none of this is real. And
Yeah.
you know, you got somebody that figured out how to work on the outside of the parameters of the simulation, and they're implanting these ideas in us. Or it could be coming from whoever created the simulation. And he's just like, oh, let me show you how not real you are.
Can I be real with you? I thought you were saying assimilation because I say simulation, and I like the way you say it more, but I did not know the word you were saying.
I up words sometimes, guys.
Can I say it like you?
I mean,
Simulation.
Simulation.
Oh man, I'm sticking with it. That's a
How
dope
do you
one.
say it again?
Simulation.
Simulation.
Yeah.
And how I say it?
Simulation.
Oh yeah, it is really cool the way I say it.
Yeah, it's way cooler.
I didn't even realize I was doing it differently.
So much cooler.
Damn, bro. I really be country as I ain't even gonna hold you.
Uh,
Golly. All right, well,
love it.
yeah, the simulation theory is one of my favorite, and I always feel that way. Like, that's one of those things where I'm always like, is this real? Like, even like you said, with deja vu and stuff like that, I'd be like, the thing that makes the most sense for me is simulation.
Yeah.
But when it comes to The Simpsons, I think that a lot of people need to take into consideration, one, like you said, like how long it actually takes for an episode to come out. And well, the other things I'm gonna get into later. All right, because I'm really passionate about this one. I love The Simpsons, but I also love the fact that this one is one of the more known ones.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like we have enough like concrete evidence to kind of infer on how they are doing this.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not sure where you were headed with that.
All right, so the earliest example of The Simpsons like really nailing something was the September 11th terrorist attack, right? This happened years after the actual episode came out. The actual episode came out in 1997, and the episode was called "The City of New York versus Homer Simpson."
Great
Great episode.
Great
episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
Family drives to New York. Homer he hates New York, right? Everything's going
hates
wrong.
New York.
But at one point in the episode, Lisa hosts up a magazine with the numbers 9 and 11 next to an image of the Twin Towers, right? And now you were talking about how long it takes for an episode to actually get made. So when do you, like, this aired in 97, so.
Yeah, let's say 95 to 2001 when 9/11 happened.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So it might have made it in 95.
Yeah.
Aired in 97. And then this happened in 2001. That's kind of eerie.
It's not just eerie. It makes me wonder if Lisa Simpson gave Osama bin Laden the idea. Can we infer that Osama, who in his bunker when he was found had a bunch of porn, a bunch of DVDs, a bunch of water. He loved to watch cinema. He loved cartoons. We know that from the bunker. He probably had Simpsons in there. He probably watched it, and he saw Lisa holding those magazines and went, possibly.
Every day I come on the show, I do it with you, and I have to fight to secure my spot to heaven. Because you are hell-bent on getting me to go somewhere else, okay? I see it in your eyes. No?
I'm questioning, I'm thinking,
The
I'm searching, I'm plausibility.
Of a terrorist. Get inspiration for the Simpsons?
Mix up the letters in Al-Qaeda. What do you get? Lisa Simpson.
I don't.
Think about it. Or the letters are in there. Whatever. The point is, it's possible.
Okay, very eerie situation, but this isn't the first. I'm saying that was the first, but it won't be the last time. We're talking over 43 instances where the Simpsons have been correct. Now, I told you a lot of the theories are based around time travel or alien technology or mind control, anything like that. But the Simpsons didn't have regular writers.
No.
That's what a lot of people aren't aware of. These weren't like just, oh, it's always been my dream to be a writer. A lot of these writers were in professional fields of math, science, and technology.
100%. Can I share one of my favorite ups with you?
Absolutely. I would love that.
Okay. I'd like permission.
I would love that.
I'd like permission, and I will.
Yes, you have my consent. Omelets. It's my safe word.
Oh, really? Hey, check out our episode on the Illuminati if you want to know where that came from. Omelets.
It's a wild safe word.
It is a crazy safe word.
What's your favorite episode? I'm sorry.
Okay. So, wait, I want to just get the title right. Okay. So, there is this episode called I just don't want y'all to come for me on Reddit. The Wizard of Evergreen Terrace. I know the episode. Sometimes I have to remember because I'm stoned.
According to my Reddit post.
Wizard of Evergreen Terrace is about Homer Simpson just feeling like he has done nothing with his life. And so he becomes obsessed with Thomas Edison. And he's like, well, that is the most ingenious, brilliant inventor of all time. I can invent one thing, and at
Yeah.
least I'll have made my mark on the world before I pass. So he starts inventing, he starts being obsessed with Thomas Edison, and at one point, he writes an equation on a blackboard.
Yes.
Cut to that equation nearly, like almost, which is a fair word to say, almost being the exact equation for the Higgs boson God particle here in life.
Okay, hold on.
He wrote the equation on the board for the God particle.
I'm gonna stop you right there, okay? Because I'm here with you.
Yeah.
But it's some people at home that might not be where we are. So let's take it back real quick. All right. So we got God particle, right? We got this episode with Homer, right? We were also talking about the writers. These writers are not just typical writers that are just writing for. We got mathematicians. We have scientists.
We got aliens.
We got
We got octopus.
we got aliens. We have physicists. So these are people who are bringing their background, their education in that field, and they're applying it to a cartoon. And in this cartoon, they almost got this formula that was not found until years later, right?
Years later.
Years later.
It took an entire Hadron Collider to create this equation, which I'll get into CERN in a second. But like the idea that an equation written by a mathematician, comedy writer for Homer Simpson to write in a cartoon then became our real reality about how the Earth works.
God particle sounds like God's penis. Like when you say God particle, I was like, oh, that's what brings things to life. Oh, it's, God's penis.
Yeah.
GP.
GP.
Yeah, God penis.
You're not far off.
Yeah.
Honestly.
God particle is his screen name, but his real name is God's penis. His mama name is God penis. I'm gonna call him God penis. I'm lit. I'm gonna have to hit the hell again. Oh God, no! Oh, help me! Nah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that part about this episode really threw me back for a loop because it's like, how did he get that close? They didn't even know anything about this.
Well, like if we wanted to tie it into like the Illuminati episode and symbolism, like now we're going to look at the idea, and I'll just throw it out there, that Matt Groening is in the Illuminati and he's using the Simpsons for his own style of symbolism.
Yeah.
Right? Whether that's an equation, whether that's a 9/11 attack. Like what if he is actually from the future and he is laying out Easter eggs for the Illuminati to, make those moves that we know are coming down the pipe, or we don't know.
It's crazy to think that could be a real thing.
It is.
Al Jean is just going to Illuminati meetings, sitting in the back, be like, is it okay if I make an episode about this? Like, yeah. This is fine. This is fine.
Great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And I guess Al Jean and David X. Cohen and all these guys who have these degrees in astrophysics and math and all of that, they're like, I guess in my spare time, I'll solve how the world works. But first, a couple dick jokes. You know what I mean? That's wild.
Oh, yo. Everybody has to have a good time, though, man.
Yeah, that's true.
This could be their way of like unwinding and just, they could be doing something more nefarious with their talent and education. But this still is crazy to me.
It is. I just want to say like one more thing about the God's penis. Okay? There is a collider underground called CERN, and they smashed particles together, discovered the God particle, did the equation that Homer wrote on the board to discover its mass, and his equation and the actual mass equation of the particle almost exactly alike. I just had to like get it out clean to understand the magnitude that we're talking about for this cartoon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where it gets wicked.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like, okay, are these guys that good, or is this more than a coincidence? Is this a sign of everything's a sign of to come?
You don't believe in coincidence.
I don't believe in coincidence. That's why I say it's more than a coincidence. It would be something more. I don't want to give it like egregious, but it's something more real than a coincidence. Like, I don't know. I get lost with words for this because like you go down that rabbit hole, your brain starts to want to be like, wait, like what's real anymore? And it's like that. It just I don't believe in coincidence, so I can't say that.
Have you ever had a near-death experience?
Oh, multiple times.
Really?
Yes.
And
I've been shot, stabbed, set on fire, and kidnapped.
all of that's true?
All of that's true.
Because I don't want to make fun about
Nope.
something that's
You can make fun of it, but all of it's true.
Well, I would never get kidnapped. I'm too wily. But all that's true?
They grabbed me by my backpack.
Oh my gosh.
I was getting off the city. Look, we ain't gonna get into it.
Okay.
But yes,
Okay.
all of that's true. All of
Yeah.
that's true. Yes. So I've had a couple of near-death experiences.
And through all of those, did you like feel or sense anything before it happened at all?
You know what? A lot of that happened in the area that I grew up in, and I always just kind of had that hair on the back of my neck feeling because of where I grew up in. And you become accustomed to it, so you don't turn it off, but you just keep your head on a swivel in this particular area.
Yeah.
And that was just the norm for me. So even when I told people about those instances and I'm telling these stories, like I didn't even realize I was kidnapped until a couple years ago.
Wow.
I was on a podcast telling somebody about it, and I was like, yeah, they got me when I was 14. I was getting off like the city bus, not school bus, city bus, and they called me, took me to an abandoned house, and tied me up, wanted information on one of my uncle's activities and one of his locations and something like that. And they were like, so you were kidnapped? I was like, no, I was 14. They were like, so you were kidnapped? I was like, no, I was a teenager. I wasn't no kid. I was like, no. You can still be kidnapped as a teenager. You can be kidnapped as an adult. And I was like, huh. Never knew it. Never even looked at it like that because when you're in that environment, you just, you're part of it. So I didn't realize it was that bad.
Dude, I'm so sorry to hear that happen to you.
Makes
real.
great stories.
It sure does.
It's a great cocktail story. That's how you break
No
the
wonder
ice.
you don't like, yeah. What do you do for a living? Shut up.
Survive kidnappings.
Yeah.
Laughs and can't believe I made it.
Oh, real. No wonder you don't believe in coincidences. It's almost like everything happens for a reason.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm very much a believer in that. Very much a believer in that. Very much a believer in living life to the fullest, exposing the truth, questioning why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate you sharing that.
It's a lot, man. There's a lot going on with it. And that's why it's always something bigger at play.
Really?
I kind of always just feel like that.
This might be a good time because we've talked about the writers and
Uh-huh.
we've talked about the ability for them to, how they might be making these things happen.
Uh-huh.
I am friends with and DM'd the former head writer of The Simpsons.
No, you didn't.
Bill Oakley.
Shut the
He wrote
hell.
as the head writer for a lot of these episodes.
Uh-huh.
And now he's an amazing food critic. He's the Guy Fieri of fast food. Follow Bill Oakley. But I DM'd him because I knew we were talking about this. And I was like, hey, Bill, what do you think about all of these? And he said, I don't know. It's unlikely, but I think it's mostly just coincidences.
Bill, respectfully. I just sat up here and said I don't believe in coincidences. Bill, he can't run game on me. I'm a track captain. You know what I'm saying? I teach other people how to run game. You can't run game on me. You're not going to sit up here and tell me that's a coincidence. Now, I will say, let's just talk about some more things that happened, right? Let's talk about the Trump prediction originating in season 11, episode 17, titled Bart to the Future, which aired March 19th in 2000.
I'm glad you brought that one up because it does feel coincidental in a way.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little smaller.
It is. That was when Lisa Simpson was the president and she was cleaning up the economy after Trump's presidency.
We've inherited quite a budget crunch from President Trump.
We're broke.
That's right.
Right?
There's a graph and it goes like that.
Yeah. Now, in 2015, Trump announced that he was running for president, right? This happened in 2015.
Are we talking IRL or
In real life.
In real Simpsons?
In real IRL.
Okay.
However, IRS in real Simpsons, right before that happened, they had Trump coming down an escalator, damn near similar to what happened in real life right before he announced his presidency. Granted, this happened maybe a couple weeks before it happened. However, like you said, these cartoons the scripts are wrote way before.
Yeah.
Then they have to go to animation and all of that. So one can infer that if they aired it in 2015, this might have been wrote in 2013, 2014. And it means that they still hit another point.
It's wild. And also having a gold escalator is actually kind of cool.
That's a huge
I'm going to go
flex
on
right
record
there.
and say, dang, man, that's pretty cool.
That's-
That's pretty cool. Because an elevator, no one's going to see it.
Nobody
Escalator?
gonna say escalator though.
You're gonna see it.
Yeah, because I got to stand there till I get to the top.
And I'm
I'ma
just
stand
gonna
there.
wait in my gold escalator.
Yeah, bitch. You see what's going on over here? Oh, escalator, baby.
Yeah, I make it a half mile slower, half mile per hour slower than a normal
Than the normal one?
Yeah, it's my time. Yeah, 100%, man.
Yeah,
it's
that
wild.
That one was crazy right there.
That one though makes me think of that one feels to me like an easy reach.
Yeah.
I would say like a math equation or something is it's kind of beyond my ability to explain.
Yeah.
I think Trump is such a figure, such an enigma that the idea of a writer's room being like, oh, when he announces his presidency, he's going to go down a gold escalator. Like
Yeah.
that feels like something a writer room could come up
Absolutely.
with. You know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
Yeah.
And so I don't want to I don't want any of this to discredit the writers because they're the Simpsons writers.
Right.
That one doesn't feel like a crazy reach to me to
Okay.
come up with. I will say. Like,
Now,
yeah,
I want to ask you about the movie, the Simpsons movie. You remember the movie?
I remember one part. Remember one part.
You want to get this one off your chest? All right. For
I
those
remember
that,
one part.
Okay, well, get into it. Get into it. Now, go off.
Bart is circumcised. Is that the part you wanted to talk
It's not.
about? We've all been asking. We've all been wondering.
not the part that
Is
I was-
Bart circumcised? And now we all know. What else is in the movie?
Well, if you remember in the movie, Homer was supposed to dispose of the waste from the pig that they had, right? And he was supposed to do it correctly. But instead of doing it correctly, he took all the pig waste and put it in his silo and then dumped it in the Springfield River, right?
Oh, yeah.
Which set off crazy chain reaction. Now nothing is safe. Now the whole town is in a bubble. I know you also had some feelings about how they actually found the Simpsons when they got out of the dome and they were on the run.
Yeah.
Because somebody was listening to that conversation.
Yep, we got one.
Hey, everybody, I found one! The government actually found someone we're looking for! Yeah, baby, yeah!
An NSA intern. It worked. We got one. Dude,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but like the fact that The Simpsons predicted a couple things I'd like to bring up. One, The Simpsons predicted the NSA's invasion of privacy and the fact that they can find anyone, anywhere, all over the world at any time
Yeah.
through satellites, lack of privacy,
Yeah.
just circumventing basic amendments and laws.
No, Lisa, it's not like the government is listening to everybody's conversation.
I mean, it's not satire. That is a prediction about where we are living today. That's
Yeah.
not satire to me.
How do you feel about, because I want you to finish that thought, but like, I feel like America is quickly getting to the same way that the UK is with all of their cameras.
Yeah.
Like you can't go anywhere over there in London without being on a camera. And I feel like we're getting closer and closer to that because like now you can do the facial recognition in the airport, like at LAX. So you don't even have to pull your ID out. You just stand there, boom. Because
I don't do it. Do you know I've never been through a TSA scanner in my life?
You always opt out?
I always opt out. I'm that guy. I'm that dude who will wait 20 minutes. I'll get there early because I know the TSA agent's going to roll their eyes and be like, this. Oh, I can't say that. This dude. And just like, and I'm that guy waiting in the wings while my whole family's like, our freaking son doing this again? Like I'm, protesting, fighting the man.
Why is it so important to you? I want to know.
Because of the NSA, man. Like you don't need my eyes for me to get on an airplane. You don't need my eyes. We've been doing fine without knowing what color my eyes are for a long time.
But you have to, like, you don't have, like, so what are you talking about? You talking about this thing right here, this scanner
Never been
thing?
in it. Never been in that. I have TSA pre-check. I don't know how they let me have that. But I also now, because nobody's getting TSA clear, because it's like you're paying money for you to give away your personal freedom and data, which is a crazy idea. But so they started moving all the biodynamic technology from clear over to TSA pre-check to still get you, even though you're not paying for it. I opt out of that too. If you read the small print, it says you're allowed to say no to this, and I always say no. Always. My girlfriend hates traveling with me.
Yeah, you're a dick. You gonna slow everybody down. I was like, bro,
goes
come on, go through, dick.
We were going to Austin.
Yeah.
And she was like, okay, let's do it. And she goes, zhin, zhin, and then is waiting for me. Cut to 20 minutes later, and I'm like still waiting. He's like, okay, I'm gonna like touch your groin now. And she's like, my guy.
They do this.
Yeah.
The soft touches with the back of the hands.
I'm a nightmare.
Oh my God.
Freedom's important, dude. Freedom is important. And The Simpsons called it out. They were on the lam.
Yeah.
They were on the lam. And the writer's room was like, what's the easiest way to move on in this act? Well, we'll just use the surveillance that we probably are going to have one day and get got. Like, that is crazy and true. And also, I want to shout out a book real quick. Dave Eggers' The Eerie. Phenomenal. Best book I've ever read.
Really?
The Eerie also talks about NSA and it kind of predicts a lot of things in here. We should talk about that. Maybe we'll do like a little like bonus app where I can just like share about the Eerie with you. Yeah, let me nerd out on the Eerie.
If we do that episode, you got to come in like Mission Impossible, all black, like somehow have you hosted from the ceiling and then just drop you in, spin you around a little bit. Yeah, you got to go all out for that one.
Oh, please let me do that.
I want to see you like that, my boy.
I'm reading from a book hanging from the ceiling.
Hey, you like a Black Widow?
My gut's just hanging there, dude. That's funny. Okay. So anyway, like the NSA thing is like, I think this is where The Simpsons goes so far into what is satire that it becomes reality. And that's my favorite thing in the world because there's nothing satirical and funny about it. Yeah, art imitates life, man. Exactly. And so for me, this is a big one. And I just really like, shout out Simpsons for this one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a wild one to think of.
It is. But, and I don't know. See, I'm torn when it comes to this type of stuff, right? Because I'm not doing anything that I would need to restrict them from having my facial recognition. It makes flying easier for me. I can get in, get through quicker. I love that, right? But I also understand people from your stance is like, this is invasion of my privacy. I don't want to be in your system. You tracking me anywhere and everywhere I go, all that type of stuff. I felt that way strongly about like all the places that like the 23andMe's and all that type of stuff. I'm like, I know they're not throwing this DNA away.
No.
I know they're probably selling it to a third party. Like something.
Dude,
like they're not throwing this shit away.
When you get famous, they're making clones of you. Sorry.
Don't even tell me that, man.
Jamie Foxx clone.
Coochie Man
clone. Tahir Moore clone.
They better get my hips right because I got my mama's hips. That's how people gonna know if it's a clone of me. It's like, nah, he ain't got his mama hips. Tahir mama got Imogene got hips and Tahir got them same hips that Imogene bore. Okay? Yeah. I was a side birth. I had to.
Oh, you side saddled it?
I had to come out this way. Yeah, because listen. Trying to just come to right. Nah, man. My legs had to go this way. I had to come out hip and thighs first because I got my mama's. I got these childbearing hips right here. I got that thing on me. I ain't gonna hold you. Stood at the bar for 10 minutes, got 6 drinks because my head was down. They didn't know I was a guy. I ain't proud of it. It is what it is. I know. I can't wear like these pants right here. I can't wear this to the club. My ass too fat. That's why I avoid jail. You don't think I wanted to be out there protesting with Black Lives Matter? I wanted to, but I was like, you might go to jail.
With these hips.
These hips, these freckles, this light skin, this red hair. Oh, they be waiting for me at the door. Calling me Red Bone when I get, hey, Red, how long you gonna be in here? What's up, Red? How you doing?
I pray you never after The Simpsons because you just predicted the worst.
It's going to be the worst if I go. I look good in orange, too.
I bet you do.
Oh, I look a good auburn or like this natural color.
Autumn colors. I bet you rock an autumn color.
It's winter, fall right now. I'll be fucking it up, layering up. Some brown, some orange, some tans. A good hunter green.
Yeah. Oh, I bet.
Yo.
What color are your eyes?
Dreamy.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Sorry, you got me caught up in your own.
You goddamn right I did. You goddamn right I did.
Oh.
All right.
So that's my high horse about TSA Clear. The point is that The Simpsons may be using something like predictive programming to get the masses subdued and eased into things like NSA privacy invasiveness. You know what I'm saying? Like let's say Matt Groening is at Bohemian Grove with Tim Cook and they're eating kebabs And like one of them passes the hummus to the other one. He goes, "Oh, by the way, I wanted to let you know, we're gonna have a new phone rollout every 3 months for the rest of these dumb people's lives. Can you like throw that in a Simpsons episode, but make Homer buy every single one?" And Matt Groening's like, "Yeah, that's pretty funny. Let's get Homer to buy all the Apple phones." Like bad example, but the point is it's like
I get it,
you
yeah.
slowly leak these things in, and that'll flower the garden or water the garden, or you'll slowly flower the trees and water the
grass?
ideas.
Okay,
and
gotcha.
maybe you'll just like go in there, pull some weeds, and make a better metaphor.
And listen, you laid it out very nicely.
I tried, man.
Your assembly at the end was,
Yes.
but I got what you were putting down.
I get worked up about things I care deeply about. I care about like 9 things in the world, and sometimes my brain will not let my mouth like say what I want it to say because it's like pump the brakes, baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Just 9 things. That's all you care about?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Privacy's one of them.
That's good. I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect that.
For
You're not
sure.
spreading yourself too thin. You can hold true to the things that you care about, and you just keep it moving like that.
Yeah.
I rock with that, man.
So anyway, predictive programming.
Yeah.
The idea is the Simpsons like leak ideas in, and then they don't actually come true because of some like fortune. It's like literally watch our Illuminati episode if you want to like know how this actually works and how everything's connected by the elites kind of controlling our lives. That's where to find
Everything
it.
builds on each other. All the conspiracy theories are connected somehow.
Yeah.
And a lot of them just go back to Illuminati.
I think
Go
so.
watch that video because it just goes back to them.
That's the part of predictive programming that I have a problem with, right? Is when it's like one thing to be like, hey, why don't you like get this new phone or a video game? But when it's like, let's get people used to a pandemic, like that's when it gets a little hinky, you know? Like
True.
you should still be watching The Simpsons if you're not, because you don't know what's coming down the pipe, but
Yeah.
woo, they seem to be on one.
It's like the tabloids. Every now and then the tabloids be right.
In Lisa's wedding, so much predicted technology that is now true.
Yeah.
Video calling, virtual reality, autocorrect. All of these things are from a 1995 episode of The Simpsons. Autocorrect? Autocorrect. 1995? It's crazy, man. Like, I know I'm not smart enough to think of things that are good. But there is no way a Simpsons writer room is just grabbing these apples off of the tree as if they're just like thoughts.
Okay. Now, before we go on with this. I want to put a pin in that.
Okay.
Okay, that's going on the board right there, right? And I want to ask the audience, what is your favorite episode of The Simpsons, or what episode of predictive programming did you find interesting, or do you think is a part of predictive programming? Like, I want to know. We want to know.
Dude, Homer is such a representation of me.
Homer is the representation of a lot of people in our society. He's a consumer.
Yes.
He's impressionable.
Yes.
He clearly doesn't make a lot of decisions for himself.
He just wants to eat, have sex, and drink and hang.
Well,
What's better than that?
I mean, in a perfect world, it would be great if the powers that be were really considering our well-being. But I feel like the powers that to be are only considering theirs, and everyone else will either adapt or die off.
Yeah. Right.
It's survival of the fittest, and that's easy to say when you're the one that you're making the rules of survival for everyone else. You're so good, you ain't got to worry about shit. But the rest of us is like, we're fighting for every meal, every dollar, every bone.
Dude, I never thought of it, but Mr. Burns is absolutely the Illuminati.
Yeah.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. We can't talk business in here. Just general schemes for world domination.
Right?
He's the lone member in Springfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody else in Springfield's there, but he goes.
Smithers is his like thirsty little assistant. He's like, oh, I'm going to get in sometime. He's never getting in.
He's never getting in. He
He's
always has
never
to wait in the
getting in.
car.
Yeah.
He's never the plus one.
He's
Always the bridesmaid, bitch. Never the bride.
That's hilarious. Smithers just tapping the steering wheel outside Bohemian Grove.
Just mad. He hears all the laughing and stuff. Never getting to get in there, baby. Never.
Hilarious.
That's crazy as hell. Damn, Simpsons runs deep, man.
It does. There's the Stonecutter episode. Everyone should watch that one. Stonecutter's a great
That was
episode.
a crazy
That's a
episode.
secret society in Springfield called the Stonecutters.
Yeah. I had actually forgot about that and then doing the research, I was like, oh, snap, they had an episode about secret societies, Illuminati already.
Yeah, it's about the Freemasons.
Yeah.
Freemason, stonecutter, Freemason.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
For sure. Okay, all right. So we talked about the 43 times, and we mentioned a couple times that the predictions have come true, but we're going to just we'll just rattle through a couple episodes.
Speed run it.
Let's speed run it. Okay, 1997, Lisa Sachs. In this episode, Lisa Sachs, Marge Simpson shows Bart a book titled Curious George and the Ebola Virus. Now, this was in 1997, and then we had a big Ebola breakout, 2014?
Yeah.
That's...
Yeah.
Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like a little bit more than a coincidence. Somebody's getting that inside information.
There's just so many diseases.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna pull Ebola virus in 97?
That's it's relevant now.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wild.
Yeah.
Wild. I got one for you.
Come on.
Actually, I wrote it down because I don't want it's businessy.
Yeah.
And that's always boring to me. But the facts are Disney acquired 20th Century Fox. Yeah. So there's an episode in 98 called When You Dish Upon a Star. And in it, 20th Century Fox signs underneath as a Walt Disney company. And now we all know that with all of these mergers, there's going to be one global company probably called like Goog Amazon or something. And we're all going to be working for Jeff Bezos and Ted Sarandis. Hi, Ted. We love you. Please pick up this show. But also, come on now. It's all one big company at the end of the day.
I can top you one better.
Uh-huh.
Right? You remember we were stuck inside for a couple years.
Yeah.
Thanks to that good old COVID, if you will. The episode from 1993, Marge and Chains, was an episode where Springfield is struck by an outbreak of a fictional disease called the Osaka flu.
The dreaded Osaka flu has hit Springfield with over 300 cases now reported.
Which spreads to the town at the same time, the box labeled with the killer bees. Remember the killer hornets? So was it like
Murder Hornets?
Murder Hornets, like last summer or something
Yeah,
before?
it was my Wu-Tang cover band. Come on.
A lot
of fun.
Damn, that was good. You're quick on your feet. You're pretty nimble.
I appreciate that.
You're agile, man, with the jokes, man. I like that. But yeah, man, even that episode was like, that was crazy because I remember the episode and they opened up the box and the flu like came out the box and just hit him in the face.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Due to the sheer number of episodes that they have, some of this can have math applied to it and have some answers.
You're telling me the Lady Gaga episode where they predict, dude, I'm sorry to cut you off.
Okay.
2012, Lisa goes Gaga. Lady Gaga performs at a Springfield concert while flying through the air wearing an outfit similar to the one she wore in the halftime Super Bowl show 2017.
I hear you. Okay.
Watch that episode.
Watch that episode. I will say that, but I will say this, right? That episode came out first. Lady Gaga was at one point one of the biggest artists in the world. It could have been inferred that she would eventually get a Super Bowl. She has pop songs, she has hit songs, she has dance songs. She's not super blues, so one could think she would go to the Super Bowl, and her outfit that she actually wore could have been inspired by that, right? What I'm saying is, some of it can be answered like through math, right?
Okay.
Like the whole technology thing. A lot of the technology that they showed in the 90s, that was just expanded upon the technology that we already had or we were working on. We were already working on cell phones, getting away from just a car phone and having the whole brick with you. We were already talking about video calling and everything. You remember the first Total Recall when they were living on Mars and all of that?
Yeah.
They had all of that technology. So for the Simpsons to talk on the technology we had on the 90s,
You know what I really recall from that movie?
What?
Totally.
What, three tits?
3 tits.
3 tits.
I really recall that.
Yeah, Total Recall definitely was my first intro to
Dude,
that.
I'm so sorry I couldn't help myself.
I understand. Sometimes you got to acknowledge it. You got to
Okay.
acknowledge the breast in the room.
Like, my bad, but also sometimes I cannot help it. I knew I shouldn't slow you down, but
Yeah.
also like, god dang, man.
Titties.
Titties.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all you can say on that one right there. The three. So,
Dude, somebody called me the Aladdin to my girl Jasmine last night.
Really?
So accurate. I'm an absolute street rat. She's a princess of all princesses. I'm an absolute Aladdin.
Are you?
Unreal. Oh, dude. Like until she came along, I'm gonna have a bath mat soon. Mm-hmm. I've never had a bath mat.
Wow.
It's crazy. I'm gonna have a couch. My place looks like a prison, so you can't come over.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
It's sterile. Everything is in its place, like post-it notes in the corner of the desk, perfectly lined up, pleasing, very nice to the eye. But like, I don't have amenities.
You sound like you live in jail.
Self-imposed. Yeah.
Self-imposed jail?
Yeah. It's wild.
Okay.
She came over and she was like, "Oh,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're a fixer-upper.
I'll tell you a quick story too. First time she came over, there was a big thing of rain, pouring rain, and so it caught in between the walls in my kitchen, so the wall ballooned out, and so they patched it so it didn't explode, get wet. But she came over, but they were still painting, so my whole kitchen was covered in plastic, like a Dexter room. And so she came over, and I wanted to like cook for her and woo her because I really liked her. And I was like, come to the kitchen. And she opened the door, and my whole place is covered in plastic, like a Dexter room.
Yeah.
And she just stood in the doorway, and I was like, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Either that or meth.
100%.
That's it. That's really the only two options.
I was like, I'm a good guy, which wasn't a good thing to yell.
That's exactly what a killer would say. You can trust me. You got blood on your face. You can trust me. Yeah. Nah, man.
So embarrassing, man. But props to her for being like.
She hung around.
Yeah, moved
She
in
saw
together,
something
man.
in you.
Yeah,
She
I'm
saw
better
something
for
in
it.
you. Oh,
So
my
embarrassing.
God.
Anyway,
I do want to say that because of the sheer number of episodes that they have, right? I think we would be remiss if we looked over realistic possibilities for how accurate they have been.
sure.
Over 700 episodes, 43 predictions that have come true, 13 that could have been coincidence, 30 that could be looked at as more than coincidence. I think the ones that could be looked at as more than coincidence definitely could fall in one of the mathematical categories. One being again, just the sheer number of episodes that they have. Another one being the extrapolation of the technology that was already being discovered and developed at that time, just expanding on that.
I see what you're saying. Like comedy math is you take something here and you just heighten it.
Yeah.
As far as feels funny.
Yeah.
So the idea of like technology then having a phone to a video phone.
Yes.
To virtual reality time travel, where instead of being on a video
Talking on
phone,
the watch.
you open up a tube and I'm right there and that's a call.
Yeah.
Right. I can understand that. I can
It was
understand
even an
flying that
episode,
flow.
I don't know if you remember this, it's not in our notes, but where Homer met his half-brother and his half-brother let him make a car. You remember that the car was so horrible and it had like a separate seating area in that little dome? Right now, you got that Maybach that has the back area with no roof and it's separate from the rest of the car. And they even got it in the truck. They got it in the G-Wagon. Now the G-Wagon has a cabriolet and it has like a separate area seated away from the other two seats. So like that, granted, took hella long to get here, but that also happened. So and that doesn't mean they predicted that back then. Some of this I feel like can really just be pinpointed to just a coming of age, but like some of it is undeniable. I'll admit that.
I'd like to share what I think about what you just said.
Yeah.
Please don't get mad at me, but it's boring and it's not fun. It is not fun to think like that. I choose to live in a land where the Simpsons are time traveling aliens. And we get to enjoy the fruits of their labor. So much more fun.
It is. And I'm all for a good conspiracy theory if it can't be disproven easily. Like, if it's not just like, all right, what the is going on here?
I hear you.
And if I can apply some logic,
I hear you.
I'm going to try to do that first.
But if we can use the Mandela effect.
Right.
And we can use like interdimensional like flow, okay? Let's say the Simpsons write a room in all of their power in Fox with their time travel, and they write something like the Osaka flu is going to happen, and then all of the world goes into a dimension where that comes true, and they shifted us into this new world where the Osaka flu becomes COVID because of this. Like, look, am I going to draw a parallel between the word Osaka and where COVID came from?
Yeah.
Well, you could draw it. I just made you do it in your mind. But
Right?
the point is,
yeah.
like, it's more fun to imagine that they hold sway and we shift into their like Mandela lives.
Is it more fun, or is it just we want to understand and know so bad how they figured it out, so it's easy to just paint them as the culprits of having this alien technology, or psychic writers, or writers that have figured out how to time travel or hop to a parallel universe, and they've seen these events happen prior to, and then they're just putting the Easter eggs in. It's easier to lay the blame and point at somebody than to say we don't know why this happened.
Man, that's hard to argue with, honestly.
I mean,
That's a good point.
And
Like-
it's also like it's culturally relevant to like today's time. Like, we feel like we need someone to take the blame for things or to answer for things. Like, I love The Simpsons because of the nostalgic feeling that it brings me when I see it, and it reminds me of a different time when I was growing up and I was a kid, right? But some people like need it to like justify the crazy, unfathomable things that happen in the world. But like, yo, the Simpsons tried to warn us. The Simpsons tried to warn us. They need somebody to place that blame or that cause on, and The Simpsons is a great scapegoat for that, I feel like.
I love how it just, it's hard because I love how it mirrors everything that I like hold dear. So it's kind of hard to hear that. You know what I mean? It's like hearing that Santa's not real in a way. It's a bit of a bummer when Bill Oakley's like, bunch of coincidences, and you're like, there's no such thing as coincidences. People are smart. I'll tell you what. Like, it's just a bummer.
Yeah.
That one's a bummer. But but there are some unexplainable ones, so I can hold on to those.
Absolutely. It's definitely something like nothing is black and white, nothing's cut and dry when it comes to the conspiracy theories or even dispelling them. But
You want to do a call to action on it? Get some folks to weigh in?
yeah.
What do you think? Am I fun, or is he right?
Don't just give them those only options. Like,
Mike's pretty fun.
Another thing you guys can answer is, do you think this is really worthy of conspiracy theory surrounding The Simpsons, or do you think this is more to do with the mathematical probabilities associated with the sheer number of episodes and 36 seasons that they've done?
And throw in a hashtag that says Mike Fun.
Nobody doing that shit.
I know, nobody's going to do that.
Nobody doing that shit. We would love you to, though. Or Tahir is more fun. Hashtag Tahir is more fun.
Oh, that's why.
I know that. That's wild as hell.
Hilarious.
That's wild as hell. Well, listen, man. Thank you guys so much for watching another episode of High in the Sky, the podcast where we get high and ask why, allegedly.
To me, it is a huge deal. This is a dream. Like, if I was to make a vision board, this would be all of it.
Would it look like this?
It does look like that.
Okay.
That's actually my vision board. I brought it from home.
We need to get you some glasses.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on
No,
that
but
board
it
right
makes sense. Just give me a second. I'll explain it. It makes a lot of
for sure.
sense.
Yeah. This is so dope, like, to be able to explore the things that we really have conversations with at parties or over the phone or just with yourself, but like to have community.
You just made me think, you know how like when you're like smoking with people and you're passing around a joint, how a joint is literally a connection? Like it's it's the elbow between people. I feel like this is what happens in a circle. When you're all just like hanging out in the backyard, in the parking lot, wherever. These are the conversations.
And they're real conversation because these comments though, oh, we all in these comments.
And I will not be reading your DMs.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting weird ones already. I'm just going to say the woman who wrote to me and said, God has been training me to paint for 3 years and no one understands me. I'm not going to call you, but you did give me your phone number. I'm not going to call you.
Yeah, I got some weird ones too. But
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna get into this. I just say this a blanket statement going here on out. I ain't sending nobody no pictures of me in no bathtub. That's just weird. It's a weird ask. Okay? Very weird ask.
Would you do it for 10,000?
I would have to live with myself after that. What they asked.
What they asked? Wait, you just laid in the bathtub?
I'm not. No, we're not gonna get into that. I'm not doing it for 10,000.
And also, if you have a green screen and you want to Photoshop Tahir in a bathtub.
Oh, you a dirty bastard.
Yeah, make it into an NFT.
You ain't never gonna be. You hear
And then
me?
let's go in on it together.
Nah, man.
I want the
Nah.
bathtub NFT. Non-fungible Tahir.
As always, I'm Tahir Moore.
And I'm Mike Glazer. I wanted to do a Homer
Gotcha.
scream.
Yeah, I love his scream.
I love The
It's
Simpsons,
it's
man.
such a good scream. It's so immediate, too. It
Yeah.
draws attention. You can click that somewhere around this area right here, all right?
Absolutely. And don't forget to buy that truck that's going to come up between the videos.
Or a video of Don taking oil off a duck.